Yo, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Slapside. We coming through with some Scar H gameplay, playing completely solo on the PS3, putting the team on my back like Kevin Durant. And we just hit 420 subscribers. And since we hit that number, I want to talk about the first time I ever got blown. And to be honest, guys, I got blown pretty early, man. I mean, I kind of regret it, but we're gonna talk about the story here. So, yeah, I was about, I think about 15, just came out of 8th grade, and I went to this trip. It was my sister's graduation. She just graduated from, I believe it was Long Beach University, right? And I was just a youngin, not really understanding what was life. Just got out of junior high school, or not junior, yeah, middle school. I just got out, and we went on a trip. It was me, my good cousin, and two of my older cousins, and pretty much, we drove to Long Beach. It was a cool trip, man, and that was the first time I tried it. They were all doing it. I don't know why, but I was just like, let me try it. My cousin's trying it, and it didn't affect me, to be honest, on the drive there because I didn't know how to inhale it. It didn't really hit my lungs, and it didn't contact any of my cells because you gotta let it get in the lungs, let it get through your bloodstream, and then when it gets through your bloodstream, that's when it's really gonna affect your your cells and your brain and give you that special feeling. And I didn't feel it, but by the time we got to Long Beach, we got there around night, and it was nighttime, so we went to the backyard, and then this time I hit it. It was out of a little, little piper, glass pipe or whatever, and man, I was super gone, guys. Like, I hit it and I coughed a little bit. So if you cough, that means it definitely went through your pathways, your air pathways. And I guess I never ever experienced the feeling of being high or whatever. So I was sitting down watching TV, and then for like or around 10 minutes later, I was just eating a popsicle, one of those little Korean, Asian, was it melon popsicles? They're like green, and I was just sitting there with my popsicle, right? And the popsicle pretty much fell by itself first, so my hand went pretty much to sleep, and the popsicle fell to the ground. I fell to the ground also, and the reason why I fell to the ground was because, looking back now that I'm older, I think that bomb, or that particular strain of a tree, it was actually some indica, meaning that it was a body high, so it affects your body. And it was crazy, like, I never experienced anything like that, and I was just like, oh, like, what's going on, this is crazy, only being out of middle school, what I'm saying, just some tiny kid just getting blown to the sky, like, I was so gone, man. I looked in the mirror, looked into my eyes, and I said to myself, who am I? I questioned myself, like, who am I really? Like, I didn't really understand who I was, still growing up, just a little boy, like, turning into a teenager. You don't really know who you are at that point, especially if you did that could really alter your brain. And it's really hard to do that at such a young age. You're just growing up, and I feel like it's just part of growing up. So yeah, it's something that I would take back and never have done, but regret is too late. I'm not here to dwell on the past, but at least now I can tell you my story, what I'm saying? So now that I was able to get into that, it truly is like a gateway drug, if you think about it, because I started to drink at a very young age. I started drinking probably around like 16, 15, and I was like drinking a beer. I was drinking 32 High Lifes, and I don't know, man, I just thought it was okay to do at that time. And I was really lost. I didn't really know what I wanted in life, and it really messed me up in high school, man. I think that was one of the worst things I could have ever done. Like, at the same time, though, I didn't really know what I wanted, though, what I mean? Like, to be honest, guys, like, I'm a smart guy, but when I was younger, I didn't know what I want. Like, I just didn't know, what I'm saying? Like, it was really, like, just a lot of confusion, Growing up, I was around, like, 9, 8 years old. My mom, she pretty much was with another dude, and, my dad, he wasn't really home and stuff, and I was so confused, like, because I had a little brother, and my brother would just, leave with my mom. I was pretty much left home alone at a very young age, and growing up, you're so confused, you're just like, what is going on, like, I don't know where my mom is, and, you kind of question, like, where'd you go, because she would just leave you, and you're only like, what, 7 years old, 8 years old, and you're just so, like, confused. I pretty much grew up living in a garage. Like, it was cool when I was 4 years old. I lived in the South. I lived in Atlanta, and my dad was in the military, and I came to Cali, and we pretty much moved into my aunt's garage, and we turned that garage into a room. So I think that really just threw off the way my mom felt with everything, the situation. She didn't really feel comfortable no more, so she pretty much went out and met someone else. And I know it sounds like a crazy story, but it's life, and I'm just speaking it from the heart. I'm just letting you guys know exactly what I went through in my younger days. So yeah, man, like kind of talking about this, it's pretty emotional because like I don't really like talking about the past, but I think everyone goes through something pretty bad in the past, and it's just the way life is. But today is like a brighter day. I look at it now. I'm definitely cool with my mom still, and I'm cool with her new boyfriend and stuff because he's actually a good guy, and I think it was for the best because my mom and dad were really just arguing all the time and stuff like that. So it was really just hard times, man. I mean, there was this one time, my dad he went back home. He went to go visit my grandpa back in the islands or whatever, and he was gone for maybe about a month. And I had no one at home. I did live with my aunt, and I grew up around my cousins, and it was cool, man. I mean, my cousins, they were really into music, especially one of my older cousins. She was really great at doing piano, play the violin, and I was really inspired by that. I really wanted to pick up a violin and start playing it, so I started playing the violin, and I felt like music was my outlet to all the crazy stuff that went on. Like it was crazy, man, growing up, man. And we only lived in that garage for about maybe a year or two, and I actually enjoyed it because I was around my cousins. It really didn't matter where I lived. It was just the fact that I was with my family, because you don't really need anything. All you need is your family, what I'm saying? So that's how I grew up. I grew up in a neighborhood where I had these cats up the block. They were I think Samoan and stuff like that, and we just used to like pretty much play basketball in the dirt with no shoes, and we used to just blow up firecrackers every 4th of July. I felt like 4th of July was one of my favorite times of the year because we just play with illegal stuff. And growing up, I was really into skating, man. I mean, I felt like skating was probably my outlet. I felt like I didn't want to do anything else but skate and get good at skating. So anything I do, I feel like I gotta like excel at it. I want to be the best I can be at it, and I really try to like be competitive. I try to be better than the next person, and if someone's really good, I really try to implement whatever they got and put in my gameplay or my in my style or whatever. So that's pretty much yeah, a little story about my life. And I just want to ask you guys, do you want me to go by a schedule of putting up gameplay? Because I'm thinking about doing a series, thinking about putting up a montage, but I want to put up gameplay and this series thing every other 2 days. So I'm going to go by schedule. Let me know if you want me to do that. But yeah, overall, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. This was a fail 97 kill game, almost 100, almost got a nuclear, but it started lagging, as you can see, and stuff like that. But anyways, man, take it easy, y'all.
Anybody, anybody can fucking get that when you got all the fucking